number. So hello everyone, welcome back to the Massachusetts Central Radio Show. I'm your host Mike Mo here, and I am here on the University Payback to do it's on. Alright, yeah. So, we put it here, and this is going to be episode 250, guys, and I thought I'd do something interesting. So, this is going to be the full story of maybe one of the most legendary motor cars ever made. If you guys know what this is let me just shut this off. You guys will know that is, unfortunately I can't really get an inside camera, which sucks because this car is a beautiful wood steering wheel. So this is the car of James stock. I do have one that's race tuned a little bit. I'll show you that later in the video. So this kind of a unknown sports car. This was built in the early 60s, 65, and I think in 66, 67 the DB5 came along. But this car is, in this color, is very well known. Movie buffs, and for those of you guys who know anything about British cinema and Hollywood, you guys will know that this was made a 64 movie of Goldfinger. It was also used in Thunderball, and it was used in quite a few movies. It was used in Thunderball. It was used in Goldfinger, Thunderball. It was used a little bit in GoldenEye 1995. It was used in Tomorrow Never Dies in 97. Then it went on a little hiatus. It didn't show back up until 2006 in Casino Royale, and it has been kind of a staple in the James Bond series. So fart can exhaust, but anyway. So yeah, this was built from, I believe, 1960. Memory serves me correct, 1963 to 65, and they only made 1,000 or so of them. They only made less than 1,000 of them, and they were priced at like $10,000 back at launch. So see, it doesn't go very high. It's kind of... So yeah, it cost $10,000 back in 1963 and 1965. And this one looks like it's right-hand drive. So I'm going to keep it low. But yeah, this is the famous DB5. I don't think James Bond would have had access to nitrous. But yeah, this was this car was based with a race-derived 4-liter straight six, making 282 horsepower, although you could ask the factory to give you a Vantage model to give you over 314 to 323 brake horsepower. It was debated whether it was 314 or 323. I can't remember. This car would easily make 120. But do the speed test. So yeah, this has got 100. This went 10 grand back in 1963 and 1965. As I said, it was replaced by the DB6, and you could have it with 282 horsepower or 314 or 325 or whatever it was, depending on who you asked at the factory. Hey, so I'm pro because this car is a beast. Alright, now we have a little open road here. But yeah, this car had a 4-liter, so the 4-liter engine, it would actually be tuned up so it could handle all those gadgets. And this car, I think it had a ding back in the day. But yeah, so they were looking for a car. But yeah, this car was not very well known. It was known as a regular British sports car, and then, well, 1964 Goldfinger, movie icon for what would be over for the next 60 years almost. Been featured in a lot of movies. Daniel Craig's driven it.
There should be a useful part around here. I should check it out.
Not that I'm going for one. Every hit in the world, not a scratch. Truly is a great sports car, isn't it? But yeah, 1963 Goldfinger, this car was made famous. A lot of people wanted one, and everybody asked what the price was, and everybody's like, oh my god. Over 10 grand, which, believe in today's money, I don't know how high that is, but it's pretty high. It's pretty high, so, you know, I think it's like 100-something thousand now, probably in today's money, so maybe even more. But these things are worth so many times that. Some of these are going for $1 million, $2, $3, $4 million at auction. It's amazing what they're going for right now. So yeah, this car had racing DNA. It was So it had a top speed of, I think, 149 when it was new. 0 to 60 in 7.9 seconds, and 0 to 60 in, yeah, it's 0 to 60 in, I don't want to do that, highway heist. Yeah, so it was really well, it was really well engineered car. Very, the car was very low slung, and very low stated. I mean, it really didn't. It really didn't catch a lot of people's attention when it was new. But once it hit Goldfinger's, Mustang that I have going right now. So this is my DB5. Now this is what will happen when you actually put some work into the car and you drive it quite a bit. So, and I've won a couple of races with it. So, definitely has race-worthy DNA. So it's definitely got the, and it's gonna get to 100, and this is gonna get to 149. Like it. This is, so as I said, it's a competition bred straight six. This one's making around 631 horsepower, so you're. So yeah, this thing, let me just, cause let me just, so I'll just shut this down. The DB5 definitely made its, definitely had competition in its blood, but it never competed per se, and I wish it did, because I think in competition, definitely if it looked something like this, there was a DB5 race car. It wasn't a real race car. It was a DP215, and it had the exact, not the exact look of this, but it had, the lights and everything. But it had, this is what a DB5 GT competition what it looked like back in the 1960s. Had it competed, but that was mostly for the DP12, the DP14, the DP215, and it was like Aston Martin changed hands. The DB6 came out, and the DBS came out in the late 60s, 69, 70. And then we got the V Advantage, and, they really seemed like, or an Aston guy, so they gave him, they gave him the dinky little car, could have ran all over any day of the week. And they gave him, not to meaning that the Lotus was a bad car, but this car could have had something, but that killed me. But I set a record. Oh, look, not a stretch. Ford had problems though. Could have carved for Roger Moore, but as they said, they decided to go with Lotus. But I don't know why, but you know, produce Astons because Moore didn't seem like that type of guy. But and then eventually it would return in. It would be mentioned that it would return, and then we got the DB, and then everybody's like, "Oh, Aston Martin's going to return in the '80s." We got the V Advantage, and everybody's like, "Oh, we wanted the other car, and wanted this machine." And we didn't get it because obviously the producers decided in a car chase that the DB5 would return in GoldenEye. By then, the DB5 had gained cult status with to that, but it also gained infamy and also status in my generation 3. And when I first saw the James Bond Agent Under Fire in 2001, and that's when I got to know the car, and I knew it as the car that he jumps over, and he virtually jumps over the lake, crashes it. I will not show any photos on. In 1995, as I said, in 95, this was out in GoldenEye, and the opening, not the opening, just, but it was the post credits chase with Bond and the girl and the Bond girl, and but quips as usual. Rosalind. They brought up. And then 97 came back like for 2 seconds to Tomorrow 3. Plus we got the BMW Z8 in 99, which was pretty sleek at the time, and that's a story for another. It's a bit of a drought. Aston Martin came back in 2003, but it wasn't with the DB5. The DB5 wouldn't come back until 2006's Casino Royale, when Daniel Craig's Bond, ends up winning. It doesn't reappear until it makes its debut in that movie, so another James Bond. DB5 really doesn't make another really good appearance until 2012's Skyfall, and it gets blown up, and I think Q rebuilds it for him. We all mourned. Everybody who saw it mourned the of it. So. And then it returned in, I think it returned somewhat in Spectre, and then eventually it did return for a pre-fight scene in the movie No Time to Die, which was pretty good, and that's how an Aston Martin should be driven. So yeah, and yeah, as I said, it never raced, but this is kind of a preview of what it could have been like had it raced. So, had it raced, it would have been like this. Get over it. So it's supposed to be driven, people. Canyon Carver. James Bond made this one famous. It was, as I said, it started out with a flat 6 racing engine that would, you know, the DB5. Great. Yeah, one thing I want to add, it's my friend Thomas, if his uncle Peter actually owned one years ago. It's not collecting dust. Hopefully, I'm hoping that he restores it at some, but taken care of when he could actually. And hopefully one of these days he'll be able to give it to somebody to restore it, and somebody will be able to enjoy it. Unless he wants to find somebody to restore it, and he can build it himself again. But yeah, so this car is well known for its it's very cool. It was it made sense that the coolest secret agent in the world got to drive a car with a race-derived engine, and since James Bond was all about adrenaline and testosterone, which this car was, because you definitely had to be a man of substance and a man of wealth to actually own one of these things. I mean, $10,000+ I think it was like 12,000 later on, but it was a really, it was a real it was a real attention getter. A lot of generations, I mean, my generation came to love it, but it's one of those things that you just do. I mean, it's an iconic movie car. I mean, the other iconic movie car. I mean, this is the other iconic movie car, although this is heavily modified. This is as you guys will recognize this beast. You guys will know this is the great. Guys will know this is the Trans Am. This is a very well-known movie car. Just as the DB5 is. This Mazda RX-8, same thing. So it's definitely an iconic machine, and Albert R. Cubby Broccoli and Harry Saltzman did a great job of basically choosing this car to be in their spy thriller, and it was a great honor for Aston to provide them with a number of cars. I forget how many over the years, but as I said, these cars with the regular Aston Martins can go for $1.2 million or something, $1.5 million or something like that. But any cars with gadgets, or those will go for $3, $4, $5 million, and that's a lot of money for a car that a lot of people enjoyed watching as teenagers or as young adults when they went to the cinema to watch Sean Connery drive this around, basically unapologetically. Well, not unapologetically, because I think that was Daniel Craig's job to drive it unapologetically on that one scene in No Time to Die, which I highly recommend you guys see. It was a great movie. And this is kind of what I think an Aston Martin would look like if it raced. If they could tune it up, give it a supercharger, and give it wider fenders, this thing would have well over 631 horsepower, and it would definitely be able to go 190 miles an hour, given a long enough straight. So this is sort of a you have GT concept in a way, GT, kind of an LMGT concept, kind of, and kind of a delve into the world that is Aston Martin, you know. And this car is, as I said, is well known for its you can't unlock super belts till see this kind of just ruins the aesthetic of the machine. You can give it the, but I like the look I gave it, so. You can give it the Aston Martin grill again, but that looks too chintzy, that looks too modern, that looks more racy to me. Yeah, it was more racy to me, and yeah, it's more racy, and I like it that way. Trunk lid, you can take off the Aston Martin badge, which you wouldn't want to do. And I'm just going to say this right now. You'd never wreck a car with a wing like this or that or that. This is not NASCAR, this is an Aston Martin, so you stick with the lip spoiler on this thing, and that's about it. So, but yeah, this is kind of a concept GT a little bit, and what a GT car would look like if they had to modernize it and or they had to modify it. But yeah, this is what a car would look like back in the day. I just did the future in the back, but yeah. So yeah, guys. So this was a icon. I'm an air icon, and it's still an icon today. In now that the car is over, mirrors makes no difference. Almost 58 years old. So yeah, the car's 58 years old. So it's definitely got its age. Definitely got some age going to it. I'm not spinning this camera. The game is. So yeah, this car definitely has some presence, and it definitely has, a history to it that a lot of people know and a lot of people like. And what I like about it is it's got that racing heritage, and it's got that nice little mechanical straight six. And it's not a sound that we're going to hear anymore, unfortunately, with the buzzing 4 cylinders and 6 cylinders. You're not going to really get that. You're not really going to get a pure sound like this anymore. So this is definitely a treat. So Aston Martin really hit a home run with this thing. So yeah. But you have to beg the question, was it really worth $10,000 back in the 1960s? Yes, it was, because this car is beautiful. And this car is very iconic, and a lot of people owned it. And as I said, I know somebody who knew somebody who owned one. So, and it was, it'd be cool ever to see one. Have I seen one up close? No, I have not seen a DB5 up close. If I do see a DB5 up close, it'll be a miracle. because DB5s are very rare, and as I said, they're $2-3 million regularly, and with the gadgets and all the James Bond lore, they're definitely going to be harder to see. So yeah, guys. So this has been a look at the 1963 Aston Martin DB5. And so you're at the belt. So definitely, yes, So yeah, so this is so yeah, guys. I just wanted to show you what this thing could really do when it's really tuned up. So yeah, this has been my look at the Aston Martin DB5, and you know, we should be cherishing cars like this because these cars are. And host Mike Camo here for the Gear. Long live our freedoms and our rights. Long live automobiles. Pray for the spirits out there that have passed on or are having trouble. And pray for those who are, suffering from COVID and are. Please God, look over them, let them get better. Also pray for my friends Tom and Megan, Andrew and Dan. And also pray for my family. Let them stay strong. Let them stay healthy. My family and my friends. Peace out, everybody, and I'll see you guys later. This has been Mike and Mo here for the Gear Change Show for the Aston Martin DB5 here in episode 250, which is around the top speed that this is in kilometers per hour, so fitting. All right, good night, folks, and I'll see you guys later.